Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the OSC Season 12 Championships Upper Bracket Semifinals. We just wrapped up with the lower brackets with some intense matches between Geralt, Skillus, Solar, and Hero. But now we're here to determine who will advance on to the upper bracket finals. We have 4 players ahead of us. We have ByuN, MaxPax, Clem, and Dark. Let's go. Let us go. Fun fact, this is actually the first matches of ByuN in this entire tournament. He was seeded directly into this round because of his performances throughout the year. For those that are curious, again, the OSC Season 12 Championship does seed players depending on how many points have accumulated over the course of the year 2024. And again, Dark and ByuN were very active in online tournaments, very successful as well, and as a result, they were seeded directly into these upper matches. MaxPax and Clem had to fight for it, had to work their way through that bracket, and now they're here. Now they're here, now they have arrived, and now we're facing off in a fresh best of 5. Let's go. We're jumping to game 1. Game 1 is going to be on Neon Violet Square. Neon Violet Square is a rare site. It is one of, it is the most vetoed map in the map pool, but we are featuring it here in this best of 5. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player representing Storm Gaming, the land of Denmark. It is MaxPax. Also, hello 007, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. Here we go, we are halfway through that broadcast. I say halfway through. Tonight we do plan on covering the upper bracket semis, so these 2 best of 5s, and also the upper bracket finals as well. Whew. As ByuN opens up with a hidden Rax. Now, for those that are curious, this is not real. I mean, I should say it is real, but it's not a real proxy. It's not real aggression. It is a fake proxy Rax here from ByuN. It is not uncommon to hide your Rax either further back in the main in some of this dead space, at your 3rd location, your natural location, your 4th location, your 5th location. Regardless, it's near enough to be able to float back into your main to go back into a standard game, into a standard build, but far enough away to keep it hidden from MaxPax to make it look like a proxy to force a reaction and ideally force an overreaction out of the Protoss player. So mind games. Mind games here out of ByuN. Probe dips in, does scout both gases, confirms that the Rax is missing. And MaxPax, how does he respond? He's looking. Yeah, you can see here, does double check his natural before expanding. Still gate cyber expand out of MaxPax. And he is being as vigilant as possible, searching for that Rax, searching for the proxy, figuring out what's going on. We, of course, can see it's going to be Reaper base opener. Reaper in the factory back at home. The probe is locked in, so we're going to have to recall that probe to keep it alive. And MaxPax, he does not go for a safety zealot, so doesn't flinch. MaxPax, he does not flinch. He responds well. And now he will confirm. With the Reaper revealing itself here, MaxPax has confirmation that the Reaper was not proxied, and that he's safe. So from here we can settle in. ByuN floats back into the main and can now expand. Floats back to the natural, which is a little bit closer to get his production up and running as quickly as possible. MaxPax behind this, going for a Twilight Council opener. And once again, welcome one all to Neon Violet Square. Neon Violet Square is the largest map in the map pool. There's a reason why it is vetoed so often. Very large map, very easy to take bases. Your natural, your 3rd, your 4th, your 5th base as well. All relatively easy to maintain and to embrace. And because of that, we often see Stargate play from the side of Protoss, but this time, no. MaxPax goes for a Twilight Council. MaxPax, he has been very vocal about his disdain for Stargate play. Despite that, he does sprinkle it in every now and then, but not here, not on Neon Violet Square. It's going to be Blink instead. Now, here in this map, you cannot blink into the main, so there's no, like, 4-gate blink potential. Most likely, this is going to be 2-gate blink into a 3rd, maybe 3-gate blink if MaxPax feels threatened. That does shade in. Does try to. Gets 1 SCV. Gets 1 SCV. He's going to be shut down. Slackbone does arrive, and ByuN, he goes racks into factory into a third CC on location. This is something you can do on this map. This is actually very similar to, if you recall, Radisson Station from a 1 or 2 map pools ago. Radisson Station was a map all about greed. Same here with Neon Violet Square, just cutting corners, being as greedy as possible. So ByuN is cutting corners. He is going to try to rush into that third base. It's going to be on MaxPax to punish, but the problem is it is difficult to punish on this map on Neon Violet Square. We do have our second and soon to be our third gateway here. So MaxPax, he's going 3-gate blink. He will have a presence on the map, but finding damage is easier said than done on Neon Violet Square. Again, there's a reason why everyone vetoes this. MaxPax, yep, getting ready for his third, so 3-gate blink into a third base. We'll be expanding. Adept does a thread in the shade, getting some scouting information. And does get into the main. Oh, it's going to be locked down though. Yeah, MaxPax, he committed to the shade. Alas, bit of a misread of the situation. Does at least scout the tech, and more importantly, actually, MaxPax, he saw the racks. Yep, he did see the racks in the end. So he knows there's a second racks. He knows that the starport was delayed. Now this could be for something more aggressive. He just has yet to confirm. And even going double eBay before starport. Oh my god, the greed. Double eBay, 1-1 upgrades, no starport, not yet. Now going for the add-on swap into Stim. Likewise, 1 tank to defend, just the one. And again, the rationale for this is you do not need a tank to protect the main. Don't need a tank for the main. Just for the natural, there's no bunker, and MaxPax, he's committing in, and can he break through? He does dive in, takes down the tank. 1 tank goes down, GG gets called. Whew, the punish is real. ByuN was being hyper greedy, rushing to the third CC, going into double eBay, and that 1 tank was the one thing keeping him alive, and it did not keep him alive. GG, well played. Whew. MaxPax takes a lead, and now we're done with Neon Violet Square. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, he only made the singular tank as well, so he was just cutting as many corners as possible. If MaxPax had been more passive, if he had gone for 2-gate blink or even 3-gate blink without a robo into a third base, then ByuN would have gotten away with it. But ByuN did take a chance. Didn't pay off. Did not pay off in the end. GG, well played. Whew. We're getting into our next game. I should also say that ByuN was cutting an extra corner there by not even getting a bunker as well, which was just the greed. I mean, the greed. Out of this world. And now we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Currently down in this series. We'll see if he can bounce back. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Psystorm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. So ByuN being hyper greedy that last game, he was punished, he was completely shut down. Now, ByuN, he is known on certain maps, like whether it's Neon Violet Square, I want to say King's Cove, and I want to say Abyssal Reef as well. He is known to rush into a fast third CC. Here on these smaller maps, I don't believe he's going to do so. Here on Ley Lines, Whispers of Gold, Ultra, maybe on Ultra Love, but even then, not too convinced. We should not be seeing ByuN cutting anywhere near as many corners. Instead, what do we see? We see a single gas. So ByuN is going for an economic start. He's going for a Rax expand. Is economic, but not overly greedy. You know, this is not the equivalent of last game. MaxPax dips in, and MaxPax will confirm, as he will gain access to the main base, and he will get eyes on the lack of second gas. Or at least he's hoping to. Yep, does check the gases. He confirms. Does confirm. From here, MaxPax now can go down to the low ground and he can pylon block. He can block, he can delay the expansion for as long as possible. Last second as he arrives. Oh. ByuN, and now he will throw down the CC just in time. Yeah, MaxPax out of position, he doesn't block. Whew, and ByuN expands. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? ByuN once again being cheeky in a different way. That is a tech lab. So ByuN is rushing into Marauder. So this is going to be a Marauder opener or a Marauder rush for ByuN. Now, the purpose of rushing into Marauders like this is to catch the Protoss player being overly aggressive. So if MaxPax comes in, okay, winding it back a little bit. This is an economic opener. It's a faster CC on the low ground. Because that MaxPax, he is tempted to counterattack with these adepts, to move out and to try to delay the CC. As you can see here, the adept is rallied across. Now, in doing so, he's going to be being aggressive with his gateway units, and the goal here for ByuN is to punish that aggression with these Marauders. With Concussive Shell, one shot is all it takes to shut down the adept and to focus it down and to gain a lead. So here comes the adept, and the plan is to catch it. Plan is to punish MaxPax. MaxPax is moving out. Concussive Shell is now about to finish. There's going to be a second Marauder. And MaxPax is going to shade in. Does he see this? He does. He turns right immediately. Despite that, gets caught out. Does come into the shade. Shades into the main base. Will still find some damage. Oh, miscontrol by ByuN. Did not wall off. The adept will fall, but at least MaxPax gets a couple of SCVs. Does get SCVs and does shade away. Wow, GG ByuN. The entire purpose of this build here was to shut down the adept. He fails to do so, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Oh my god. I feel, mate, this series has not gone ByuN's way. GG, well played. I feel bad for him after game 2 especially. Like this was all so like calculated, so planned. And then ByuN, he messed up. He didn't lift the depots, of course. Like that was a big blunder. SCVs went down. Adept escapes, and that means what was the point of the Marauder opener? What was the point if you fail to minimize damage? If you fail to kill the adept, it's for nothing. It's a waste essentially. And with that, ByuN falls behind, and ByuN taps out. GG, well played. No, I just it's been a rough couple of games. Basically, ByuN, he hasn't been able to get into his build at all this series. Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1, he got killed for being too greedy. Here in Game 2, he tried to punish MaxPax. He failed to do so. Game 3, most likely a standard game here from ByuN, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned for ByuN. You know, I'm looking forward to like sink my teeth into like a back and forth series, you know, mid-game play between ByuN and MaxPax. We're not getting it. Not getting it yet. ByuN is being shut down at every turn. And here we go. We're loading into game number 3 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan. We have the South Korean Terran player. He is down 0-2. The pressure is on. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Are these being aired live? The cast is live, the games are not. For those that are curious, the way that OSC works, because there are so many matches happening in this bracket, the matches are played ahead of time, and then the replays are submitted to the organizer and admin of the tournament, the owner of OSC, and then the replays are provided to the casters. So all these matches are done via replays, as they are all played ahead of time. Here we go. MaxPax, he does move out. And this is going to be a double gas opener out of ByuN. Double gas. This means a faster factory, a much more aggressive and assertive build this time from our Terran player. Oh. This MaxPax, he has arrived to be as annoying as possible to delay. Rax will complete. Oh my god, that SCV is so low. He wants it. Oh, he wants the SCV. Pulls away, confirms both gases. Does confirm, he does double back. He does threaten that SCV. Thankfully, there was a repair. Whew. And ByuN, he will keep that worker alive. Now again, with double gas means a delayed expansion. As opposed to the previous game, faster factory, delayed expansion. Now, technically, this can lead into a one base all in. True. This can lead into a one base all in. That is true. Otherwise, this could just lead into a delayed expansion. Based on the series so far, I am concerned for how ByuN will approach this. Keep an eye on him. So far, scouting for a proxy, moving out. There is the CT on location. Also, for those that are curious, whenever we do have a replay cast, you can actually look at the title of the stream. I know the title is quite long because the event's name is quite long, but you can actually see before the Patreon command in the title, it does say replay cast. So whenever we have a replay cast, it is typically stated in the title of the channel. If it isn't stated there, then you can assume it is a live broadcast instead. Just as a heads up. Otherwise, we do have our Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax working towards Blink. Does work towards Blink. Likewise, ByuN getting towards 1-1-1. Now, with a double gas opener, this can lead a couple different ways. This can lead into earlier tech labs, into a cyclone drop. It can lead into Banshee play as well. For the time being, we go Reaper Hellion into a mine drop, but I'm most curious about the follow-up from here. But now it is going to be additional Widow Mines. Medevac is on the way. So ByuN, he's gaining map control. He's moving out. Medevac is now in production. And ByuN, he will soon push. Soon move in. Soon move in. So far, MaxPax, he does have SimCity. The goal here, in case it was a commitment to more Hellions, is for MaxPax to fully wall this off to then focus on the defense in the main. Another threatening a shade. Does shade out. ByuN moving in. So he's got a Widowmine Marine drop into the main base. Likewise, Reaper Hellion towards the natural. And we'll see if ByuN can pull MaxPax apart. See if he can pull this off. Shading up the ramp. It's going to be denied. Hellion Reaper races back home to defend. Adepse trade against the buyer. And here comes the drop. Drop into the main. And how quickly does MaxPax respond? Oh, late response. Ooh, late reaction. And probes are going to be falling. It's going to be 6 probe kills so far. 6 workers do go down. Medevac does survive. So do the Widowmine. So does everything. And so far, a good start for ByuN. ByuN does start things off well. Behind this, going for his own 3-1-1 setup. Into tech labs, into tank production. Setting up back at home. Prism gets scattered. War Prism is seen. MaxPax does open up 3-gate blink. Is reinforcing, getting a third base behind this. And ByuN, once again, he does skirt around the edge of the map. He does head towards that mineral line. Can he get in? Now trading with the Stalker. No shield battery. Stalker under fire. Drop back into the main base. This time, MaxPax does pull away in time. Pushing in, he will find the tank. The tank is on siege. The tank is going to go down. Massive pickoff. The tank falls. Meanwhile, dropping the main base hasn't achieved too much yet. Now popping off. Nice shot does connect. Nice blinks, nice dodges. Likewise, Stalkers into the main, but ByuN, he does hold. And as it settles here, we do get 8 probe kills in total. 8 workers, meanwhile 4 SCV kills, a tank as well, a bit of an even trade. MaxPax does lose some of his economy, but so far he's still maintaining map control and keeping ByuN pinned. And MaxPax, he wants that add-on. Blinks in. Oh, no, never mind. Go for the army. Settles for the depot. Second tank has arrived. Oh, and MaxPax, he gets punished. We'll bleed out 1 Stalker. Bleeds out a Stalker. Does pull away. Not quite catching the Raven. Just trying to keep ByuN pinned. Behind this, MaxPax saturating his third base. Now taking up, we have a gateway explosion. This should lead into charge. So blink into charge into +1. This is the go-to. This is the current meta of PvT. More so than going into Colossus and Storm. We instead delay splash damage in favor of a Swarm Toss composition of Stalkers and Zealots. This will eventually lead into Colossus, and there it is. There's the Bay on the way, but the Colossus production has been delayed. Intentionally so. It is going to be delayed. MaxPax trying to keep him pinned. ByuN, he does sneak out. Nicely done. Moves out with the drop. Heads towards the main. Will boost in. MaxPax forcing a recall. Oh, he gets punished for it though. He was a brutal recall for MaxPax. Leaves out 2 Stalkers. A 3rd Stalker falls. ByuN trading well, getting a 5th. Oh my god, taking down most of the Stalkers. And they're all going down one after the other. Brutal losses here for MaxPax. At the same time, Zelda harassing into the mineral line. ByuN, he doesn't turn around. He commits. He knows he has the advantage. He knows that he has momentum. SCVs are falling, but ByuN, he's going straight for that 3rd base. And what do we have to defend? 2 Stalkers. 3 Stalkers. There's 4 Stalkers, 1 Immortal, a handful of Zealots. ByuN, he's going for the kill. As he's just pulling MaxPax apart. Gets close to the mineral line. Yeah, it does my mining. Immortal does respond, but that's 3 tanks. Oh my god. Yeah, massive tank boys going up on the Stalkers. And ByuN, he does it. He breaks the main army, takes out the Immortal, takes out the Stalkers. GG gets called, and ByuN will fight back and put a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN, finally, he was able to play some StarCraft. Ay, ay, ay. Again, for those that missed out on Game 1 and Game 2, the game ended before it really began. Like, Game 1, ByuN, he was killed for being too greedy, for getting a 3rd CC. Game 2, ByuN, he went Marauder production into GG, as he wasn't able to preserve his economy. But finally, he was able to actually get into a proper 2-base saturation, 2-base economy, and able to fight back against MaxPax. Let's go. Let us go. ByuN does put a point on the board. Now, the pressure is still on, though. Remember, this is the best of 5. First to 3 will take the series. ByuN has to claim this game here to force the ace match. Let's go as we load into Ultra Love. We do load in. Again, MaxPax, he was punished so much in that game when it came to his Stalker losses. He lost far too much, far too quickly. Which is why, at a certain point, when MaxPax was harassing the mineral line, ByuN, he just sent it. He just sent it across the map. He knew that he did not need to defend, that he could end the game, and he did. And with that, that leads us into Game 4. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. As ByuN will open up with another fake proxy racks. I'm assuming a fake one just because we're out here in the center, closer to the 3rd base location to flow back over. This is very similar to what we saw previously on Neon Violet Square. What, Gressman? The young poker gamer. No, he gets scouted. Oh, he does get scouted immediately here. Probe does confirm. The probe can delay. And can we deny if we can deny this Rax, I'm getting Game 1 and Game 2 vibes here. As the SCV is gonna go down. The Rax is denied. There's no SCV, there's no Reaper. Second SCV comes in, also takes a lot of damage. Yeah, a rough start here for ByuN. As ooh, it looks like with solid RNG he can finish. Yeah, he will finish the Rax. Thankfully he will finish it. SCV barely escapes. And MaxPax, he at least knows what's going on. He's like, okay, you know, it's just a Rax opener. Double gas into a factory. No proxy, no cheese. He can just open up in a standard fashion. Yes, if you're in the chats and if you maybe just tuned in, if you're curious, wait, why were we on Gressfun? As we have been mentioning throughout the entire night, in OSC tournaments, we do feature an extended map pool. Maps like Romanticide and Gressfun and Error Home are in the map pool as a result. I'm sure this wouldn't be the last time someone asks in the chat, but it's all good. It's all good. Extended map pool. For now, we are going to be settling in. As we do have that factory on the way, into the CC on the low ground, into the expand. Again, MaxPax just settling down, going for his own Twilight Council. Once again, most likely 3-gate Blink. 3-gate Blink is the stock standard way of opening up in this matchup. Very safe way to play things out. You can try to cut corners, but here on Ultra Love, it's risky. The map is far smaller than others. So we should be seeing safe play. Likewise, Adept does get across the map, takes down the SCV, delays the CC. Ooh, takes down the Reaper as well. Yeah, decent trades here from MaxPax. Slows down ByuN ahead of time. Second Death arrives. Thankfully, this time there is a Hellion. And with the help of the Hellion, oh, another SCV falls. But the Adept gets cleaned up. And ByuN holds. ByuN holds, he will expand. Behind this, what do we see? That is a second Rax. Interesting. So with a second Rax before the starport, this is hyper aggressive. Going for a third Rax, this looks like a 2-base all-in. This looks like a 2-base all-in. This might be a reaction to losing those SCVs, to ByuN stumbling a little bit here in the early game. But he is basically prioritizing bio production, prioritizing stim, combat shields, prioritizing upgrades here, even tank production as well, before the starport, before Medivacs. So ByuN will have the option to pull the boys. Meanwhile, it does catch one of the Stalkers, busts into the main. The boys are being pulled. Oh my god, that is brutal damage. Oh my god. Yeah, the workers do line up. Probes are falling. And as Zilla settles, that's going to be how many? 6 probes going down. Very nice damage here by ByuN. Very nice start. Get 6 probes. Now, this timing, this move out, typically hits with 2 to 3 tanks. So 2 to 3 tanks here for ByuN. We might even just completely skip the starport. If we get the starport, we push out with Medivacs. If we skip it, we just pull the boys. Speaking of, oh, that's a 4th, Jesus! 4th Rax! Okay, we're skipping the starport. This is hyper aggressive here. Typically, you can pull off an all-in without the 4th Rax, but ByuN, he's committing, and again, he should be working on stim at least. No stim yet. So far, he's holding on to the natural. Bunker is done, tank as well. No upgrades yet. There we go, stim is on the way, and we should be hitting that stim timing. Before that happens, we do dive in, the tank goes down, and before ByuN can get into his own build, he's falling. He is struggling. Mass repair will save the bunker. Whew. ByuN holds, but losing a tank already is brutal. Like, every tank is so precious when it comes to this all-in, because the tanks, they're the backbone of the army. That's what deals most of the DPS. MaxPax is getting a 3rd. And ByuN gets supply blocked. Oh, he does get supply blocked here. This is slowing him down even further. Deeper still on the way. Stalkers get behind the mineral line. This is helping ByuN as he can actually start making that tank. But tank production is heavily delayed here. MaxPax keeping him pinned. And ideally, MaxPax, he wants to buy time for charge. Charge, it just began. Stalkers are waiting outside. MaxPax, he hasn't seen the production yet. He doesn't know. He's not fully aware what's happening. Not fully aware. ByuN, if you notice, he's not making any SCVs. But this also means he has less boys to pull. But again, ByuN, he's been all in this entire time. Even before the 4th Rax was thrown down, and yeah, he pulls the boys. It's all or nothing for ByuN. Either he kills a MaxPax or he dies trying. It's gonna be one or the other. MaxPax, he confirms, is trying to slow this down, trying to force out a stim early on. Chips away at the Marines. These Stalkers are necessary back at home. As a MaxPax, he has to take this seriously. Shaving up more Marines. Another Marine going down. SCVs, they repair each other. And ByuN gets across the map. He has 3 tanks. This is all he has. 3 tanks, they siege up. They take down the gateway. Mortal production has begun. We did have that recall back home. And he does take down the pylon. And he barely depowers that robo. Nicely done. Solid start here for ByuN. Stims in. Takes down another pylon. Make sure the Immortal will not pop out. We're coming from behind and the tanks are going to fall. But beyond the ByuN, the Marauders, he sims in. He can still pull this off. Zelso, the charge is done. They collapse on the Marauders. They trade well. And the tanks were cleaned up completely. And ByuN is running out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of army. He's down to 5 Marauders. Down to 3. And GG gets called. There's nothing left. And MaxPax will survive. He will claim the series 3-1. GG. GG, well played, MaxPax. He will take the series. Again, ByuN, he had a really rough start to the series. Like game 1 and game 2 was just really unfortunate. It was just a bit of a shame, as ByuN, his builds were completely shut down, and he never really got into even a 2-base economy. In game 1 and game 2, he was shut down ahead of time. Game 3, he actually got into his build. He was able to get into the mid game in a much more comfortable fashion, and he was able to take it to MaxPax. And here in game 3, we saw a bit of a stumbling into this all-in, where ByuN, he was getting supply blocked. He lost the first tank. He did lose SCVs early on, which I think forced the all-in as well. And yeah, did kind of stumble his way into it. Likewise, MaxPax did a great job at punishing ByuN, at sniping those tanks, at sniping those SCVs, and slowing down the all-in. And in the end, ByuN, he just ran out of steam. Just ran out of steam too quickly. Just ran out of army. And with that, MaxPax will advance on into the next round. Let's go. MaxPax does advance on, and now we are getting ready for our next series. We're getting ready for our next match. It is going to be a best of 5 between Clem and Dark. Let's go.